Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does.
What's up, Willie? How we doing today? Everybody, and I mean everybody, should be drinking orange juice on a Sunday like myself. Tastes like murder that you can get away with. How are we doing? Sing in there. Came through the night. How we doing this Sunday? Hey, Chords on Rumble and YouTube. See the star-spangled banner wave. This is the Darrell Brookes Show.
Welcome to the revolution.
The nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. I guess we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. Turn on the TV, look at the ads. When's the last time you saw biracial couples on TV? When's the last time you saw the way, people are selling products, they do ads to sell products, and they sell products when people, we're the only outfit in the country that is immune. Imagine had the tobacco industry been immune to prostitute being sued. Come on. In February, the families of 9.
Think about it. Yellow school buses are our nation's largest form of mass
Queen,
transit.
how we doing?
How about that? Every day. So yes, and let's applaud because it gets them where they need to go.
Geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
Oh, man. Welcome to the show. How are we doing today? How we doing? Oh, man. Oh. What is going on with my alerts? Interesting. Okay. Thanks for subscribing. I think I need to put my, I need to put a filter on this bad boy. Let's get sorry. This is what happens, just a little live interaction. All right. Happy Sunday. I am doing well. Friday was nuts. Friday was like one of the worst. So the reason I didn't have a live stream on Friday, obviously because the internet was out. But before that, I took my dog on a walk, and I thought it was just going to be a normal dog walk. No, my dog, like a dog came out of nowhere and just like took off and started attacking my dog. And then I was like, it was a little dog at least, thank God. My dog is not a little dog, but it was like nipping at my dog's heels. And I was like trying to get my dog away from it because my dog would destroy this dog. but I don't want a fight because I know too many lawyers. And like I was just like keeping the dog away, and it was like nipping at the foot. And then these people came out to help me. It was by a hospital, and this cancer patient was like helping me, but I thought it was the dog owners. And I was like, "Get your freaking dog away!" But I didn't say freaking. I used the F word because I thought I was get your dog away from me, or before I kick this dog. And they're like, "It's not our dog. We're trying to help you." It was nuts. And then the owner just like slowly waddled closer to me, and it was mayhem. It was like one of those things that like it just got worse and worse and worse by the second. And then I came home to start the stream, and the minute I started streaming, my internet just went done. It was just done. But how are you guys doing on this Sunday? It's my second Sunday stream, so I'm trying to see how this thing goes. I like kind of Sunday streams. My favorite body and quote to think about, if you got to think about at the time when you're thinking about it. Is that a Biden quote? Ugh. We got some good Biden clips today. You thought this was going to be, just an easy show, but Biden had been speaking to MSNBC, and same with Nancy Pelosi, and the circus just keeps going. And especially in a time where we're getting ready to gear up for midterms. So get excited. I'm excited, but let's get through some of these clips together. Some of these insane clips because, well, you have to. But how are we doing? Queen, how are you feeling this Sunday? Are you having a good Sunday? I hope you're having a killer Sunday, brah. All right, but here is the clip of Biden. Let me get this up. Biden's talking about taking on assault weapons again, per usual. You gotta love it. You gotta hate it at the same time. But here's Biden talking. This is today. Biden is taking on assault weapons. But this is the quote from today, and I quote, "I'm coming back and I'm going to eliminate the assault weapons again." How do you eliminate something you've already eliminated?
Past in 30 years. And by the way, I'm coming back and I'm going to eliminate assault weapons again. I promise. I did it once.
Yeah, he's eliminated assault weapons once. He did it so good that he's going to eliminate them 2 times. And you thought 2 times was not enough. He'll come back and eliminate it for a 3rd time, I swear to God. This guy constantly re-eliminates and eliminates and doesn't eliminate and then brings it back and then eliminate. This guy's totally all there. Chores is done. Now it's time to chill on YouTube. Heck yeah, dude. Sunday chores. What's your least favorite Sunday chore, Queen? What's your least favorite? What's everyone's in the chat? What's everyone's least favorite Sunday chore? I'm always curious of that. I feel like Sunday chores kind of feels nice to get it done and start your week off well. This guy just digs his grave deeper and deeper. He really does. I don't think he bathroom. Yes. Sunday cleaning the bathroom. Ugh. That's the what? That's the Cords. What is your least favorite? Sunday cleaning the bathroom's the worst. I don't know what it is. It's just, you're just like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. But we got more clips. Can somebody explain to me how you eliminate something 2 times? I just don't get it. I'm trying to get my live stream up. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whatever. All right. Let's get down to the next clip. Cord says bathing. That's your least favorite Sunday activity is bathing? Is anybody bathing you, or are you bathing yourself? I think that's like where it goes down to. They won't be happy till the the thought of guns. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm like trying to like sometimes I'm trying to read stuff out loud. It doesn't come out the most eloquently. Yeah, they won't stop until they've gotten. I mean, we constantly say that, and people try to make a joke about it. But Biden's idea of you owning a gun is that you own a gun. And within that gun, you have one round to use because that's all you need to hunt, according to him. B-Cal, what's up? Hey, Steve. Watched AOC get booed today out of California. Who is Steve? Hey, Steve watched AOC get booed out of California. It was great seeing people who are sick and tired of this BS. Yes. Watching AOC get booed, even in her own town hall, is so gratifying and fantastic. And the fact that AOC too came out and said that the people were booing her were anti-LGBTQ or whatever, as opposed to them just being anti-her. You know what I mean? They always try to make you seem like a nutcase. Like if you were like, I don't like Biden. Oh, it's because you're a white supremacist. You're like, no, I just don't like what he's doing economically. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his history. Like whatever you want to say. But they automatically just like throw all these insane terms and like label you as these insane things. And I think people are just getting tired of it. I mean, I know I'm getting tired of it, and I'm sure you're getting tired of it. It's just like, I think that's literally why I started this podcast, because I just got so tired of being called these stupid names when I know who I am. Letters matter. Not to me. My fingers did it. Exactly. Okay, but here's the next Biden clip. It just gets better from this MSNBC. And again, keep in mind, all right, people need to keep in mind that this is a video of MSNBC. All right, so the fact that they are willing to air these things and not just, it's not like Fox News making Trump look good or whatever you want to think, like the Fox News is the right and the MSNBC is the left, whatever. The fact that they're putting this out there and stuff like that, even they are getting tired of looking bad, because when you're a shill for something, you want your side to win. And then when it's not winning and it's not looking good, you start to, go after the leader. Because even if your side is dumb and makes no sense to vote that way anymore, especially based on history, there you go. BKL says, raking the leaves and watch the next day, and it looks like I never raked. Raking leaves is one of the worst jobs ever. Like that alone makes me want to move to the South. Raking leaves is the worst. Okay. Here's another clip from Biden today. This is from MSNBC. I have more substantive experience on issues facing the country, both in foreign policy and domestic policy, than any president ever, according to Biden. Like you thought that Trump was an egomaniac? Biden is saying he has the most experience out of any president ever. Does Biden's foreign policy and what's going around the world make you feel like this guy knows what he's doing? Or is his experience just failing? Listen, this is his clip.
I'm going to say something I probably should consider not saying.
Oh, say it.
Is that I have more substantive experience on the issues facing the country, both in foreign policy and domestic policy, than any president ever. I'm going to say something I probably should consider.
I feel we have to hear that again. You know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of clips that you're just like, maybe don't say it, especially when, the whole world's on the brink of World War III or whatever. China, Taiwan, North Korea, starting to talk about shooting a nuke, testing it, just test it out. Russia, nukes, stuff like that. Iran, Saudi Arabia. Like, it's just like you're failing in your foreign policy, bro. Maybe you shouldn't be even talking about it. Maybe you should just keep focusing on everything the Democrats should focus on, and it should be only abortion. That's the only thing they have going for them in this election cycle, what they think. I'm very pro-life, but they have a very hard abortion stance, and that's their only winning issue, quote unquote. You start talking about foreign policy, you start talking about inflation, you start talking about these kind of things, you lose people. Well, at least people that read the news or watch the news or engage with the news and not just like come up every 5 years and watch like the debates and it's like, okay, I'll vote for this person based on the debate. But I want to hear this again.
That are not saying.
Oh, say it.
Is that I have more substantive experience on the issues facing the country, both in foreign policy and domestic policy, than any president ever.
Any president ever. God. Oh, he's incredible. BKL says, right, just don't like what she stands for. Oh, AOC? Yeah, me neither. AOC is just like a lot of other politicians. Even if the people that like her, you know, her like socialist ideas and stuff like that, she is not this hardcore socialist. She's like, that's her grift of the day. You know what I mean? It's like she'll say whatever she needs to say to get elected. She's that type of politician, and she's good at it, and she gets away with it because she's, you know, kind of pretty. So that there's like no one calls her out on her BS. If she was like an old cranky old white dude, you know, they would go after her, but they don't because, you know, it's hot girl privilege. Biden's feed BS. He isn't aware of his reality or he's just plain lying. It's hard to tell. You know, I always feel like I get in that conversation with people with politics is like, are they doing it on purpose? Are they just stupid? And it's like, and if it's on purpose, then it's very malicious and it's evil and all those kind of things. And if it's, you know, if it's just they're stupid, then it's like, I don't assume these people are stupid. I never want to assume ignorance on someone. I don't like doing that for anyone, for anything, anyone, anytime. I think that's like a mistake a lot of people make is assuming ignorance. And I think it's an easy way to put them in a box or make you feel comfortable talking about politics sometimes. It's just like, okay, they just don't get it. Like, or they're just stupid or like they're ignorant. That's why they believe this way. And it's like, no, they don't care. They know even if their ideas are wrong or just not the greatest, they will double down and go harder because it's more important for their side to win and their tribe to win than it is to being wrong. And that's the culture we're in. And people are starting to wake up to that, especially these Republicans who have no backbone. They're starting to wake up. You can't just reach across the aisle anymore. You have to, when you go into, if you're elected, you have to put a stamp on your authority of what you want to accomplish. You're not here to make friends. You're here to represent the people that elected you. And that's what, like, you're starting to see that shift more and more in politics, and that's why we're drifting farther apart. And that was just naturally going to happen. Chords on Rumble says, it's easier to brag and lie than come up with something substantive. Yes. Well, yeah. Well, it's also easy to just, you know, speak in talking points. I always come in contact with that constantly with people, with politics in general, but just like people in my daily life, podcasts as well. You just see the same talking points. It's like people start to develop like 2 or 3 talking points, and then they just like say it over and over and over again to the point where that's like the whole podcast. And you're just like, this is ridiculous. I almost sounded like Top J just now. I don't know where that accent just came from my mouth. They have said that Joey B has been wrong on every foreign policy. Yeah, of course he has. What foreign policy has he gotten right? You know? And even the things that he tells other countries to do, they slowly turn back, you know? Because they realize, especially as Europe is entering an energy crisis this winter, They aren't following his policies right now. The only one person that's following him is Ukraine. So, call me crazy. Here's another clip. Joe Biden was asked regarding his if he's physically still functioning well, and this is his quote. Okay. I love quoting Joe Biden before he says it because I think it's important to hear it. Biden said, and I quote, "Everything physically about me is still functioning well. Ha 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 ha. So you know, and mentally too. So All right, here we go. Here's the clip.
Right now, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself. I'm in good health. All of everything physically about me is still functioning well. So, and mentally
Was that an inappropriate joke? I don't know.
too, so.
Wait.
Well, so, and mentally too, so. Right now.
God. Is he functioning well? Do you feel like Joe Biden is completely all there? Do you feel like he's killing it as a president? I feel like I get so bored of this conversation. There are so many people that try to correct me, or if I laugh at something that's just a silly gaffe or something, they are constantly like, yeah, but Trump said this. Like always. It's so boring. All right, next clip. Biden then goes on to say, I think it's a legitimate thing to be concerned about. Okay. Biden was asked about it. Biden was asked about his age and legitimacy and his mental health again by MSNBC. Okay, so he didn't get asked one question. He got asked multiple questions about his mental health. And if he's physically there, mentally there, and all that kind of stuff like that. And which is, we need to start taking note that even MSNBC are asking these questions. It's not just them asking, what's your favorite ice cream anymore? I think it tells you a lot about how things are starting to turn on them. And they are starting to regroup because they are fearing of the red wave that potentially might happen this midterms, what's seemingly likely to happen. They are the whole Democratic Party right now is regrouping and trying to refocus and rebrand themselves because they're realizing Joe Biden isn't the brand anymore. In fact, he's losing it. And that's why they constantly ask about his mental fitness and if he's functioning well, because I think that they're hoping this the next election cycle that he is potentially running for president again, they are hoping he bows out. That's what I think. And call me crazy, but there's no other reason why MSNBC, who is a complete shill for the Democratic Party, would be constantly asking him about his mental fitness. They just wouldn't do it. But here's the clip.
Don't take my word for it. Did it? Yeah.
So let's say Trump doesn't run again. Convince Aunt Gloria that she should stick with you.
Well, I think Aunt Gloria should take a look. I think it's a legitimate thing to be concerned about anyone's age, including mine. I think that's totally legitimate. But I think the best way to make the judgment is to watch me. Am I slowing up? Don't have the same pace? Or, and that old joke, everybody talks about the new 70s, 50s, and all that stuff. It could be, I'm a great respecter of fate. I could get a disease tomorrow. I could, drop dead tomorrow. But in terms of my energy level, in terms of how much I'm able to do, I think people should look and say, does he still have the same passion for what he's doing? And if they think I do and I can do it, then that's fine. If they don't, then they should vote against me. Not against me, they should encourage me not to go. But that's not how I feel. I can't even say the age I'm going to be. I can't even get it out of my mouth.
That's so awkward. You look so uncomfortable right there when he's grabbing his shoulders. That's right. You don't have to be functioning cognitively well or, physically well. It's as long as you're passionate, you should be elected. You should run for president. Got it. God. Do you think Biden is totally all there and ready to run again? That is the question of the day for me and for you. Chords on Rumble says, what did Joe with foreign policy? Hard to say, he lies about it. Joe Biden, foreign policy, I don't know. You guys in the chat, you tell me, what is one thing Joe Biden has done well for foreign policy, foreign policy wise? I can't think of any. What is going on? Whatever. Queen says, yes, Joe, we have been watching. You are obviously failing. Stop listening to the sycophants and how well you're doing. It's just a perfect example of why it's important not to be in a bubble in life. Why it's important to always question what you believe or allow people to question what you believe to be true and stuff like that, or press you and push you on what you believe. He's in a bubble. You see it. You see that kind of stuff with like in jobs and stuff, where bosses think they're doing a hell of a job. And you're like, you're actually not doing it, but they never take critiques or they never ask you how they're doing. And then they constantly just slowly get worse. But they think they're doing awesome because they have a social media team or they have workers around them that just kind of, pumps them up.
Hey, Joe, you're doing a great job. You're looking great today, Joe. Joe, you look great. Joe, look at you. You're taking care of business. You're doing great, Joe. Everyone loves Uncle Joe. What kind of ice cream are you eating? Chocolate chip. Okay. This next clip I think is great too. Because MSNBC starts asking about how Kamala Harris is doing. And where has Kamala Harris been? All right. Where has Kamala Harris been in the last 2 months, month? I mean, like, she's barely on TV anymore. They constantly are trying to hide her. They used to parade her everywhere. They used to parade her all over the place because they thought that she was like going to own the conservatives or something, or just like be this fantastic figure to rally behind. But in fact, she's exactly who the voters thought she was. I mean, there's a reason why during, early on in her campaign to run for president, she didn't do well. She didn't test well with people. She seemed inauthentic. She seemed fake. So maybe you should start listening to people more as opposed to just pushing people in your face like, no, you're going to love this person. We decided, and you will love it. B. Kell says, the news media has been covering for Joe B since he started to run for president. They know he is losing his mental health and that they don't care as long as it's not DJT. Yes, that is the statement of the day, man. They don't care. They will put up a dead body. They will put up a mannequin at this point. I wish it wasn't true. But as long as the person can walk, sometimes answer a question, it's like, put them out there. Put them out there. As long as he follows what we say. She's a joke, to be fair. Pence was not in the limelight. Yeah, Pence was never in the limelight because Trump is like a vacuum when it comes to people's eyeballs. It's like he's like Alex Jones. Like the minute they walk in the room, it's like you stop focusing on everything that's going on. You're just like, holy crap, it's Trump. Even if you hate him, he's just one of those kind of figures. And Pence is a smooth talker, but he doesn't have any charisma. All right, here's the question about Biden. And I think it's hilarious to hear Biden talk about how great Kamala Harris is doing. Per usual, as our borders are. The border is secure. Here we go. Here's the clip.
The Vice President of the United States, Vice President Harris. How's she doing? You're almost 2 years in. How's she doing?
She's doing great. She is first of all, she's smart as hell. She has a backbone like a ramrod, and she has enormous integrity. And but if you take a look out there, there isn't any public figure that is, 60% favorable ratings. I mean, but she is doing a great job, and she is really, really thoroughly informed, and particularly on areas of foreign policy and national security issues. And so I find her to be extremely, extremely well qualified and a great asset. We have lunch once a week, and there's nothing that she is cut off from.
We have lunch once a week. That's what got me, dude. Did you see how he started to talk about her approval ratings and then decided, you know what, I probably shouldn't be talking about that because she has terrible approval ratings? And then he started talking about like foreign policy and national security issues and stuff like that. And then it's like, we have lunch once a week and she's doing great. I wondered if he was going to throw like the race card, like people don't like her because she's a black woman or some stupid crap like that. It almost seemed like he was going to go that way. But do you feel like Kamala Harris is the ramrod of our Biden administration? We have watched you. You're losing. Yes, BCal. I know. He's losing in that segment right there. He's like, she's 60. I don't know. Well, she's doing a great job. It's like anybody with a brain would stop and be like, "Hey, stop! What did you just say? What's going on?" I bet the Kamala Harris is Neil Overjoy. I mean, who wouldn't though? Am I right though? Okay. Here we go.
Kneel before thy.
Here is now we're getting to Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi today, also on MSNBC. So both of them went on MSNBC and decided to have the time of their lives. And she starts going crazy too. Cords on Rumple says, what part of that was the truth? Nothing. Biden wouldn't know what the truth was if it slapped him in the face. Let's just be real. Wholly fabricating whole stories when you're running for any part of office just tells me the kind of personality you are. It just tells me you'll say and do whatever you can in order to stay in power, in order for people to get their eyes off you, and just to congratulate you on how great of a job you're doing. You're doing so great. Okay, here's Nancy Pelosi. She was asked, BCal says, when those reporters interview him, they must walk away and say to themselves, wow. Yes. Yes. They probably, I bet the reporters, when they finish reporting with him, walk away and go, can we use any of that? Is there anything we can use? Because I am not totally sure. But here's Nancy Pelosi, and she's being asked, the question is, why don't the American people, according to the surveys, trust Democrats, but instead trust Republicans? Why do you think that is the case? Write in the chat below. Let me know why you think people trust the Republicans over the Democrats at the current moment. Here's Nancy Pelosi.
Why don't the American people, according to the surveys, trust Democrats, but instead trust Republicans?
Well, let me just say you talked about what you perceive to be a change in momentum. Let me just tell you what I have seen over this past month. I don't subscribe to what you said, that they don't trust us. The fact is that in the last few weeks, the Republicans, recognizing now that they have a problem in this election, and you all have been telling them they're going to win for like a year and a half, but they're seeing what's happening on the ground. So they have placed unlimited money into these races with unlimited fact.
Even though the Democrats are outspending the Republicans, but I continue.
Misrepresenting what the reality is. And it takes its toll. There's just no question. We won't have unlimited. We'll have to have enough. But we have to fight that perception that they're putting out there about inflation.
Why?
The perception of inflation. I like that last part of the clip. That really got me going. Gaz, what's up? I'm going to leave as I rather you not get banned, man. No, you can't ban me, man. I'm pretty good at censoring myself for YouTube's sake. I wish it wasn't the case. Just checking. I appreciate you though. Queen says Democrats as a bloc have voted to block American liberties from the get-go. Yeah. They used to be about freedom, but the freedom got so free that they decided that now they need to enforce their way of freedom because you can't have your way of freedom.
I don't even know what that means, man.
Like, what the All right, but that's Nancy Pelosi. I like Nancy Pelosi going, I don't prescribe to whatever you're saying. You know what you said just now? I don't prescribe to that. Okay? I don't prescribe to that. But it just gets better. Here's Nancy Pelosi this morning. Nancy Pelosi this morning on Face the Nation. and she's asked regarding inflation. And the question is, and please get in the comments below and let me know. The question is, things like sending $1,400 checks, putting cash out there, didn't that end up contributing to inflation? Do you have any regrets? And what do you think her answer will be? Does sending $1,400 checks to people help create worse inflation? Or is it just corporate price gouging? Here we go. Here's Nancy. Please tell us how to think.
But on things like sending, those $1,400 checks, putting cash out there,
right.
I mean, didn't that end up contributing to inflation? Do you have any regrets about the bills you passed and how you structured them?
No, absolutely not, because that was necessary for people to survive. Our purpose
was that it was inflationary.
But the point is that when you reduce unemployment, it's inflationary. That is a fact.
But on things like sending...
I'll take, what is inflation for $400, please? Oh, it's no longer $400. It's worth it. I have to pay $600. I don't get inflation. It's just like corporate price gouging. That's all it is. Okay, cool. I'll just say that from now on. Corporate price gouging. It's not the government overspending money they don't have while we're already in debt. It's not whatever. Inflation isn't even real. It's just corporations. Say it with me. Corporations. Vote blue or die trying. God. Jeez. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills at this moment. Willie Brand thought she was going to be great at a different kind of job. I see what you're saying. You guys are dirty. God. But Nancy Pelosi, man, like, I don't get it. I get into like so many conversations with leftists and people on the left online about inflation, and literally all they say is this corporate greed. If only life was that easy, if only life was so easy, it was just one thing like that. If only life was that easy, as opposed to it being, sure, maybe corporate greed, but also, the government has everything to do with it. Maybe we can walk and chew gum at the same time. You know what I mean? No. We have to choose our sides. We have to choose our tribe, and we have to subscribe to one train of thought, and we can't see from the other side ever, because my side is the best. Vote for my party or die trying. Jeepers, Will Robinson. Oh, also, if you want to call me and call this number and leave me a message in the middle of the show, I will play your voice message. I was going to do a live call-in, but then I started talking to real-life people, and they were like, Derek, do not do a call-in. You could get doxxed. People could say insane things. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I'll just do, you can call this number right there. It's not my personal cell. Don't worry. It's the Derek O'Shea Show number. And you could leave me a message if you would like to leave me a message. And we will I will play it if you want to, and I won't say your name unless you want me to say your name and all that kind of stuff. So feel free, if you want to call this number, you can call my number at 872-240-2407, 872-240-2407. All right, cool. All right, as we continue, but here is Nancy Pelosi talking about inflation. You're goddamn. Speaking of Papa, we do have some voicemails from Papa. Let's actually play one. Let's play one. Here's one right here. Let's see. Let's try it out.
Hey, Dad.
Okay, yeah, here we go. My first voicemail.
Eric, Papa Burlap. God, this is really embarrassing. Listen, I'm going to need to reschedule that Zima heist. Me and the guys were planning on tracking down that stash of Zima you got, breaking onto your private property, and just pilfering your stash of Zima. We're going to need to reschedule it because it turns out that my zipline guy is moving to Saratoga. It's this whole thing. So without the zipline guy, the plan is completely useless. So let's go ahead and get our schedules together so we can actually plan this out properly. So I can actually break onto your property and steal your Zima and brag about it to a bunch of people on the internet. So just give me some times that you'll be free to actually go over this because it really needs to happen. You can't just hoard all the Zima for yourself, dude. So, anyways, I gotta get going. The gerbil army is loose again. You know how it is. All right, see you next show, dude. Bye.
What? What is the gerbil army? What? Freaking gerbil army, dude. You're not touching my Zima. I'll kill you. I'm just kidding. I will kill you. Thank you, Papa. Beautiful message. So stupid. Freaking gerbil army. We got more messages from Papa, by the way. I was gonna play this clip. All right. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Here's another one from Papa. Here we go. Oh man. So silly. We live in a crazy world. Oh, by the way, a new announcement for everyone. I have a new character that I just created in my sleep the other day, and I bought a new wig and I bought something else to wear, and it's going to be incredible. I think it's going to be my man on the street video attire. It's all of the classics of comedy attire, so hopefully you guys will like the character. And it's going to be like kind of a life coach. I can't tell if I'm going with like a life coach that gives bad life advice or like a life coach that looks like a total dork but pretends like he's the shit. Like I don't know which way I'm going. For God's sake, a Germa army is an army of gerbils. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Here's another one from Papa. Here we go.
Hey Derek, Papa Burlap. Wanted to.
Did you crack me up? Hey, Derek, it's Papa Burlap, okay? It's make that a baker's dozen, Pop. You got such a Michigani voice. I love it. Hey, either, Bob.
Wanted to actually make a comment on something you said about the Republican message, this recent campaign just being way too negative. It's actually kind of sad, just because like the red side actually does have they had a very good chance of winning. All they needed to do was actually push numbers and facts instead of saying this guy's an idiot or this person is a psychopath. And if anything, they're just pandering to the people who are going to vote for them instead of trying to get new votes. Whereas the Democrats are only going to be watching, or the undecided voters are only going to be watching CNN, and they're only going to be seeing the edited clips of these people calling Joe Biden a loser. And so I'm not trying to be black-pilled or anything. This is why people really need to realize that this red tsunami might not actually happen because of the crap that Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing. And this is coming from somebody who loves Marjorie Taylor Greene. That Spitfire is friggin' awesome. So, yeah, there's still a long way to go, and more people do need to get involved to get the word out, because we're getting pretty close to the 0 hour here. Anyways, I got to get going. Someone just set a whole bunch of tinfoil in my front yard on fire. Love the show, man. Bye.
Bob, I feel like we could be friends in real life. I mean, we are friends in real life. I don't know what I'm thinking. If I ever met you in public, I just want you to know it was me that put tinfoil in front of your yard. I agree with you, though. I totally agree with you. I think, like, there are too many people that are... It's kind of like we're kind of like politics is kind of like a product of the internet in a way where it's like everyone's trying to what is it called? Sorry for those that get offended. Shit post, where you just like say things to get attention and you just lose your mind, and then you just say like this clip right here. This is all I can think about when I hear Joe Biden's a loser. I totally agree. Again, the Republicans have such an easy knockout the park to win and hit a home run, but. You know, you could talk about what's going on in schools. You could talk about, especially what's going on in schools. I mean, that's such a winning issue. Inflation is such a winning issue. Gas, energy prices is such a winning issue. World War III is definitely a winning issue. And yet it's just kind of like children talking about like, I don't know. I think that's why you see like a huge, you keep me on the spot. That's why you see like a bigger gap too for like great candidates like Carrie Lake is like a perfect example. She's incredible. She could easily be our first female president ever because she is smart or whatever that means. Okay, let me look at some of your comments. Anything to get elected, forgiving student loans for the votes we have to pay for it. Thanks, B. Kelly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the whole forgiving student loans thing is buying votes. I mean, that's all it is. Especially because the money goes all the way up to $250,000 for a couple. That is so much money. If you can't pay $10,000 in your of debt if you're making that kind of money, you have a problem with your money. You have a problem with budgeting. Maybe you don't go out to eat anymore for a couple of years. Maybe you don't go on that long extended vacation. I don't know. Call me crazy. Nancy Pelosi, quickie. Okay. Red Wave is Gary Carlisle. What's up? I think you're new in my chat. I hope you're doing good, man. Red Wave is coming. Nothing can stop it. Watch. I totally agree. I think people are done. I think people. I don't trust polls for one. I never trust polls. If anybody trusts polls, they haven't watched any election in the last like 10 to 15 years. Anybody you want to put your money on the Democrats? Sorry, I can't understand. Thanks for playing my rambles. Gotta get to my job. Hey, see you later, Papa. Of course, Papa Burlick, take care. Anybody believes minus cheating? Sorry, I can't say that loud. Close him. Taking no chance. Yes, this is a huge election. All right, we also have a message from Willie Cords. He comes on YouTube sometimes, but he is my man that holds it down on Rumble for me. All right, here we go with shout out to Willie. Always a good man. Thanks for supporting the show too. I appreciate you sending me coffees and all that stuff.
Oh, Derek. Willie in Cordes Lakes, Arizona. Love your show. Doing a great job. You're probably thinking pretty smartly not doing it live after I've seen the way some of these other callers call into these other content creators. Anyway, I'm so happy to be one of the first call-ins. Take care, bro.
Heck yeah, dude. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Keep holding it down. I appreciate you. Thanks for having the cojones to call the show and have your voice out there. It's always cool to see people that chat and then hear their voice in real life, and I kind of imagine what they look like. I'm imagining a huge beard. I don't know why. I just feel that way. But I appreciate you, man. Again, yeah, I was going to do a live call-in, but then I just thought, tis the season, probably not to do that. You can also text me. You can also text me and send me videos and stuff through this number. Again, it's not my actual phone, so you're not calling me. And I'm not going to I'm not going to share your number. I'm not going to, if you don't want to say your name, I'm not going to say your name and stuff like that. So just know if you call into my show, I'm not going to dox you. But if you want to get your voice out there, and the service I use for this does do a transcript of what you say. So if you're going to come on and leave me a message that's like totally insane, I'm not going to play it. So that's just how it is. Even if I agree with what you're saying, I just know the boundaries of which are set forth. Thank you, Cors. I appreciate it. College degree making under $60,000 a year doesn't deserve his degree, or the degree is bogus. Yes. There are a lot of degrees like that. I have a master's degree that doesn't qualify me to make tons of money either, but I do it because I like serving people. But I knew that going into it. So, like, this idea, if your degree doesn't require you, if your job you want doesn't require you to have a degree, do not get a degree. That's just the bottom line of it. It's insane how many people like feel like they need to go to college just to go to college. No, you don't. Like if like my job that I work requires me to have a higher education degree. I have multiple degrees. I had to do it. There was no other option. So like, it's just ridiculous. I bet you do not owe a bunch on college degrees. No, I own nothing. I graduated with zero debt because I worked the entire time I was in college for both of them. Especially the second one. The first one, not as much, because the first one I got was like, I kind of pulled in money from people, like gave me money. I saved money and stuff like that. And it was a cheap college. But the second one, it was all, I worked DoorDash and I worked Lyft and Uber and did all this stuff for money to be able to graduate debt free. And it sucked. I hated my life. I didn't go out to eat ever. I ate chicken and rice. I ate beans. I freaking hate it. I didn't go on vacations ever. I went on one vacation that was paid for by my mom, so I could go see her. That was it. Like, she was just like, I miss you. I'm going to fly you out here just to hang out with you for a few days. And I was like, okay, well, I'm like so heavily budgeting my lifestyle right now that I'm not going to spend it on anything. I was a total loser. All right. I didn't do anything. I just worked. Cords on Rumble says Carrie Lake wants to shut down the board. I hope so. I really hope Carrie Lake's not full of crap, because she is on point for everything. She's like one of those kind of politicians that I just like. I hope she's not too good to be true, because she seems so genuine and honest and all those stuff. You're awesome and agree. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. Gary Carla, perhaps, but many people with professional degrees cannot get jobs with their career path, business administration. They're not all basket weaving degrees. I agree with that, Queen. I think, Queen, you and I have had conversations about this, that you kind of agree with the bailout, right? Which I'm happy to have a conversation about, but I think this idea that you can make $125,000 a year and then you need a $10,000 student loan bailout. No, you don't. I'm sorry. If you're making under like $50,000, $40,000 a year, maybe we can have that conversation. But again, let's not forget that this government is so stupid with money. We're gearing up for a $60 billion extra funding to Ukraine as we speak. And then New York is giving migrant shelters that are better than my home that I live in to illegal migrants and stuff like that. So like, I'm not like focusing on the college degree thing. There's widespread spending across the all platforms of government they're insane. You know what I mean? So that being said, watch your eyeballs. This is like, agreed, Derek. They need to reduce the cap to 60 or less minimum. I get that like $125,000 in California is basically nothing, but nobody's forcing you to live in California. So I'm like, I'm tired of like the government just subsidizing everything in general, and I wish it would just go away. But I'd rather it go to Americans than to Ukrainians. I'm sorry. Or like the thing I did the other day about how we are sending like $200,000, like a ton of money to Ecuador for drag classes, drag shows. Like, how is this a thing? Our government spends on the stupidest things in the world. They don't actually address issues. The only reason they gave this money to college graduates is because they know who their voting class is. The Democrat voting class, the Democratic group is rich, white, suburban people. That's the base that grew for the Democrats. That's why they're giving this money to them. They are continuing to buy your support. Or whatever. Ukraine, like Russia. Yes, agreed, Gary. Democrat policies create a bad job market. Nobody would physically go to work if they control. Yeah. All Biden had to do was open up the economy. And then he didn't do that. And then he forced people that if they didn't take the vaccine, to get fired and all kinds of stupid crap. Queen Bird says, what does it say about politicians thinking 125K is struggling? I make 45 a year and I live within my means. I don't make that much either, Queen. And I live within my means too. I'm like you. I've always lived within my means. I've always bought used. I don't go out to eat extensively, even though most people in my generation do like crazy. I just live within your means. You're happier that way. These people, there was a time in my life I ran up a bunch of credit card debt that I had like $20,000 in credit card debt at one time in my life, and bust my ass to break that down to zero and got rid of that credit card. Like, living within your means is such a flex. It's such a, like, people just don't do that in today's culture. They just like, oh, I don't want to live like that. It's poor, gross. And what do you even do when you're poor? Like, I don't know, you learn to survive? Call me, like, what the heck? All right, here's, I think this is like the clip of the day, if you will. The clip of the century. This clip from Nancy Pelosi is so delicious. I think it sums up so much of what just politicians in general and Democrats right now, how they're feeling. But she is asked about inflation, and I want you to listen to Nancy Pelosi's words very carefully of how she thinks of you when you are sitting there worried about inflation, freaking out about inflation, worried about prices of chicken, eggs, gas, whatever. You are freaking out. This is what she thinks. She's more worried about the message.
And the fact is that when I hear people talk about inflation, as I heard him there, we have to change that subject. Inflation is a global phenomenon. Yes. The EU, the European Union, the UK, the British have higher inflation rate than we do here. It's not, the fight is not about inflation, it's about the cost of living. And the fact is that when I hear people talk about inflation, as I heard him there, we have to change that subject.
That's the freaking statement of the century. When I hear people talk about inflation, we need to change the subject. We need to focus on it's a world thing. You know, it's not actually us. There's no policy the Democrats have done to increase inflation. I can't think of one. And then when she's asked about, what about giving people $1,400 checks? Oh, that doesn't help and create inflation. What are you saying? What are we saying? This is just free money. We're helping the American people. We're giving the American Rescue Plan. But that's what she thinks of you. She's more worried about changing the message than actually addressing inflation concerns and making your life better. It's more important that she stays in power and stays elected and the message is positive. It's good vibes only for the Democrats, okay? Don't bring in that negative energy. We have to change the way we talk. All right. Gary says, I'm a butcher for a small business for the ranchers and farmers local. Awesome. I only buy my meat from local farms. I made a decision like 3 or 4 years ago. I watched a couple of those documentaries about, farming on a massive scale and regenerative farming and all that kind of stuff. And I made a decision. I know it's going to be more expensive, but my meat's going to be better, and I'm going to support local farmers and farmers that probably believe the same things I believe, rather than these huge corporations. So I made a decision. Typical. People on the right usually put their money where their mouth is, rather than on the other side. It's just like they just want to dictate how you live. She has her ice cream to make her feel better about inflation. Dude, that her freaking fridge and the ice cream. Oh my gosh, I feel like I need to find that. With the ice cream, the fridge thing, that was the best. I gotta find that. Good decision? Good. I hope so. I buy local, and I also buy from moink.com. I support them because they help out local farmers. I don't know if you work with them. I know they do a lot of stuff in the Midwest. But the meat's better. I love cooking. I love cooking. Gary says, I was never a butcher till a globalist agenda became trans. Oh, gotcha. That's cool that you're a butcher, man. I like that. That's awesome. I think it's just like another one of those things of like people don't care, like they don't want to think about where their meat comes from, and I think they should, because dear God, I can taste the difference in my pork. Holy crap, pork is one of those things like if the animal isn't treated well, you can freaking taste it. It's ridiculous. It's depressing to think about, for one. And somebody like myself who is Christian, I just believe in treating, because of the dominion over the land. I'm supposed to treat the land and toil the land and make it prosper. And I don't think factory farming makes our earth very prosperous. I think it, degrades our meat quality, degrades our land, and it's just not a way to treat animals. So I'm just one of those freaks. Buying local is ideal. I saw a news clip that said that they want to vaccinate cows. No way. Probably, though. I mean, of course they do. It's part of their religion. You need to. That's their way of being baptized. Is taking a shot. It's so stupid. How do I know you're one of us? How do I know you speak the gospel of libs? Well, you take it. You take the jab. That's the only way possible. God. Gary says, I worked in food manufacturing most of my life for Sara Lee Bakery and Hostess Brands. Oh, cool. What's the secret? Tell me. I watched like a conspiracy about Sara Lee on YouTube not too long ago, or like how she got started. I don't know. It was pretty interesting. BKL says, that's the problem. When you take a loan out, you have to pay it off. I would like to buy a new Corvette, but I can't afford one, so it shouldn't be the government that have other people pay for it. Exactly. Exactly. You mean you have to reap what you sow, BKL? How dare you? How dare you say that? Especially like, there are people that go to the military because they can't afford the government, and they put up, go through 4 years of hell or 6 years of hell, or they hate it or they love it or whatever, but that's the sole reason they go. Or they decide to not go to college at all because they can't afford it, and so they work a blue collar job, and there's like the first few years of that job are just, you're in the hell pits and you're in the hellhole, and like, what do you think of those? And they don't care about those people. like people don't get that. They don't care about them. They aren't the voters that they're counting on. So they're like, you know what? We don't care. Yes, I'm in management. I know too much. Okay. Okay, good. I thought I didn't know if that conspiracy theory was serious or not, but I love that you said that. I don't. Those new Corvettes are nice. Let's just be real. Those things are sick. Let's see. Oh, Cord sent me a shot of him. Dude, yes. Yes, you do have a huge beard. Oh, that's incredible. Dude, that's a beautiful beard. That is a beautiful beard. MAGA Extreme, do what's best for your local counties. Yeah, that is the most MAGA Extreme thing you can possibly do, is look out for your counties. That's another example of just like knowing your sheriff and stuff like that. Okay. Here's another example. Here's another perfect clip of Nancy Pelosi too. She gets asked a question immediately when she comes on the show, the Faith Nation, and she immediately is like trying to control the situation, and it's beautiful to watch.
You've heard our CBS estimates have the Republicans taking the House with 224 seats. How do you shift the momentum?
Well, let's just say, first and foremost, good morning. It's Sunday morning, 15 days or so before the election. People are already voting.
You've heard our
I don't want to talk right now. Good morning, Sunday morning. Reminds me of that old clip. What was that? Pelosi, good morning, Sunday morning. And then people would like,
Governor.
where is it? It's, sometimes, oh wait, here it is. Pelosi wishes Sunday. Okay, here it is. This clip.
Sunday morning. Good morning. Sunday morning.
God, this is my freaking nightmares. She said so. I know. I think we get rid of it. Okay, I can't read that. Gary, I agree with you, but I would also encourage you not to even focus on that. I would focus on locking down the laws of how to vote and making sure everyone's on the right page and no more emergency orders and stuff like that. And mail-in ballots are stupid. No real country does that. No honest country does that. You should be forced to go in and press the button yourself and walk out, or write it on a paper and walk out. Because this is supposed to be a secure thing, and there's nothing secure. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm walking on thin ice. But also, it's you don't want to keep saying that about like the elections, because I think it makes people not go out and vote because then they feel like the cards are stacked against them, and what's the point? And like that kind of mentality keeps one side in power forever. If you just focus on that or constantly say that too much, it makes other people who are on the fence of just like, I don't even know if I should vote. I don't like what's going on. I'm probably going to vote this way, but my vote doesn't even count because who cares? And that's what they want you to believe. Because if you're a Democrat, that is what you want. You want people to believe that their vote does not count. It doesn't matter anyways. Just stay home. Stay home. Don't worry. We'll fix that for you. Just being honest. Too much. Yeah, call. Still doing math. Yes. California is terrible. I have family in California. I know. My little sister got like 4 or 5 people that previously lived at her address. And if she was nefarious, you think of whatever you want with that. But here's watch out for warmongering rhinos. Yes. Yeah. Anybody. Neocons, they're the worst. Neolibs, they're the worst. Chords Unravel says, I choose to join the service because I wanted a quick way to fix jet engines and I did not want to go to college. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's that too. Joining the service is a great way to start your career, start a job, or like you're young and you're not too sure what you want to do when you grow up. So it's like, I'd rather just find somewhere that I think also the one thing that's like great about like the military is that you are forced to leave the comforts of your home and your family, and you're forced to grow up fast, and you are forced to decide, I am the one that's in control of my own life, and if I fail, then I fail. I don't have any safety nets anymore. And so it's important to like get out there and feel uncomfortable and be forced to make new community, forced to make new friends. You don't get to run home to your mommy and daddy anymore and cry. I mean, there's all those kind of things that like, it's really great for your self-esteem and stuff. And you might not necessarily have the best experience in your life, but that's part of life. That's why I almost joined the military, because I was like, I just didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. So, and then I felt called by God and I became a youth pastor for a long time. And there's the story of the first part of my life. Like Liz Cheney, Lindsey Graham, and so on. Yes, Lindsey Graham's the worst. I know. That's why I always say that when people say, vote Republican, I'm like, yeah, no. Know who you're voting for. Don't just vote for people willy-nilly. Okay, but I saw this clip. This clip is a perfect example of the left in my eyes. They tell you what to do, but do they actually live how they just want you to live? I don't know. You be the judge. I want you to follow this person on the far right all the way at the end very closely, particularly his hands or her hands. glues her hand to this. Oh, whoops. What was that? She's protesting for the environment. Glues her hand to the pavement and then chucks it in the drain. You gotta love your modern leftist. It's not about power. It's about saving the environment. God. Gary says, I went AWOL after Desert Storm ended and did not want for the fight for 5 more wars pre-planned. Like, I can completely understand that. Yeah. Bush Cheney, and it was the real Bush. It's amazing how many people think Bush is like a real conservative. Like, no, dude. Also, this clip right here is incredible. I think everyone should see this clip. New York Mayor Adams. All right. New York Mayor Adams. Okay. I sometimes, like, when I'm like reading off these clips, like I don't even, I'm mesmerized and perplexed by some of these clips. But Mayor Adams suggests that maybe you should, stop playing on your phones to get off your AirPods to avoid the crime in New York City. As if that is going to help more than him, fixing the problem or whatever. It's your fault. It's not Mayor Adams' fault, okay? Keep voting blue. But here we go. Here's Eric Adams.
I rode the subway yesterday, and it's the same thing. I haven't put my AirPods in for over a year because I feel like I need to be very much aware. That's quality of life issue.
You were right about, not having your iPods in, not focusing on phone. And I say yes to that. I do the same. And we put out a video and information telling people about being aware of what's around them and what's taking place. And I encourage New Yorkers to do that.
I rode the subway yesterday.
But you should be aware of your surroundings. But also, the government should probably fix your problem. If I was the mayor in that moment, I would say, you know what? I'm really sorry that you feel like you have to do that in order to purely live in the city. And that's a problem. You know what? As a leader, that's on me. And I'm going to do everything I can to stop the crime. In fact, and here's my plan of how I'm going to stop the crime. A, B, and C, and D. And I want people to feel safe where they live. Because when people feel safe, we can prosper more, the economy will do better, and people will stay in this city and enjoy their time here, as opposed to fearing for their lives and fleeing the city like nobody's business. That's what a real leader does. But no, we have politicians. If a politician ever wrote a book about leadership, I would burn it. Gary, I love your chats are correct. I can't read some of these, but I totally agree with so much. But also, it's some of it is just I don't know how to. I can't dissect or tell you what I disagree and I don't agree with. But here we go. Here's Okay, the CBS focus group is, CBS also is having a problem today. They had a little focus group today, and they thought it, because they're trying to figure out, they don't understand how the Democrats are going to lose. They're perplexed by it, because they feel like this is what, the majority of Americans want, or whatever. But listen to the conversation of what is driving them to vote for somebody different or what they don't like about the Democratic Party. I think it tells you everything.
Biggest concerns about raising children in America right now. John?
The whole woke culture affecting our children. All these elementary schools and middle schools having woke culture pushed on them from the LGBT plus community for sexual identity and gender. We should be pushing the actual school studies, math, social studies, science, not, gender studies or sexual identifications.
What have you seen that makes you concerned?
In the district that I live in, there hasn't been really anything going on. But I'm originally from Iowa, And just recently, there was
Killer T-Cell, what's up? I would love to sneak on MSNBC live show like this. Oh my God, me too. Me too. It'd be a dream. I would put the wig on. And then I would just make people accept me. They would feel so uncomfortable. They would just be like, hey, are you real? Yes. Yeah. Mail vote. Yes. 9/11. Yes.
some protests at an Iowa school for bringing in a transgender art show.
So you're not concerned about your kids in Texas. You're seeing this on the news. That's what's raising your concern?
Yes.
LaShawn, I'd like to get you to weigh in on this.
I can also agree with some of his points.
I guarantee you she agrees with all his points, but she's afraid to say that. She's just like, I don't want people to like look me up and track me down. I agree with some of his points.
With sex education, I feel like some things, are brought to the children's attention they wouldn't even think about.
And you have 8 kids. I imagine you have some pretty specific ideas in your mind when you're speaking about this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the children are, they're really influenced. You can teach them one thing at home, but when they go to school, they're just as much influenced by their teachers and their surroundings. And we should have more input, the parents, of what we would want them to learn.
Stephanie, what's your biggest concern? And if you want to react to any of that, go ahead.
I agree. The other issue has to do with COVID. There's less teachers in the school district. And because of that,
I wonder why. You mean all the good teachers left?
They have.
Like me. I left right at the height of it.
Student choice school days. So the students can choose whether or not they want to go to school that day because there's not enough teachers or bus drivers to get them there. And so I worry about their education.
When you said your top issue was crime, what did you have in mind?
Robberies and, murders, stabbings. And it's like every time you turn on the news, somebody killed their baby and, they're losing their mind. It's like people are everywhere doing everything. And it's like they're out of control. Nobody's stopping them.
John talked about how concerned he was about the border in his state of Texas. And
I guarantee you, too, that these people in corporate media are more concerned about the messaging and maybe them like not playing some of these clips to freak people out as much as opposed to actually helping you and my life and making our lives better. They're more concerned about the messaging or it's like you always constantly see like the Democrats always like, what, crime isn't that big of a deal. And then you constantly see all these clips of people just doing these heinous crimes and immediately get out. And they don't ever face jail time and stuff like that. It's just, we live in a crazy time. Democracy is just a reason to, yes, democracy. We live in a republic.
Migrants coming into the country.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with helping, but we have more problems here in our country. I feel like there's so much focus on helping immigrants, and it's not enough focus on the people here that might need assistance.
Do you blame your mayor and your...
Gary, are you a Fed? I feel like that last one triggered me. No, do not overthrow any, no.
Governor for that? Or do you blame Washington for that?
It's everybody, everyone.
I feel like this is a test.
Washington, the mayor, I mean, it's like they help.
No, that's what a Fed would say. I'm just kidding.
Who they want, certain people, certain groups of people, they'll help them, and then they'll neglect someone else.
Often when we do these focus groups, we have people from different party affiliations disagreeing with each other, but I'm hearing all of you echo a lot of the same concerns and agreeing with each other.
Exactly. That's why this should be a total red wave that happens, because if you just focus on teaching the families and kids and what's being taught in schools, the Republicans would walk away with it. They wouldn't even have to talk about anything else. But no, they want to talk about other things, or they want to be associated with other people, or they want to say stupid things. It's just so ridiculous. Pickles. What's up, Pickles? Dems really hate peace. Of course they do. They love chaos. The left a modern leftist loves the idea of a complete chaos, chaos with violence, because that will create authority, aggressive overthrowing things and establishing new power, because that's what's more important for them is power. Power is more important than your freedom, your bodily autonomy.
Sir, none of you are very optimistic about the country right now.
No.
Ooh, are you guys optimistic about? Get in the chats. Let me know. Are you more white-pilled? Do you have hope of what's going to happen in the future of this country? Or are you more black-pilled? Do you feel like this, the world's kind of going to crap and there's like no hope? What do you kind of feel like? You only exist to serve the state. Exactly, Pickles. And working will set you free, Pickles. Working will set you free. With the working, you will be set free. Yeah. Yeah, gonna. But again, here we go with another leftist attacking Monet today. A mashed potato attack on a $110 million Monet painting in Germany. This is our modern leftist. Here we go.
Menschen hungern, Menschen frieren, Menschen sterben. Wir sind in einer Klimakatastrophe.
Is there any like fiber in you that if you were there, you just walk up and just smack him right in the face? Like.
Und alles, wovor ihr Angst habt, sind Tomatensuppe oder Kartoffelbrei in einem Gemälde.
Also, listening to the German language while they are pushing their authority on something is very uncomfortable. Gary says, I'm voting all Trump-supported candidates, period. Yeah, I can't think of one that he doesn't support that I don't like. But, well, I wouldn't say that I don't like. I don't really care for Dr. Oz, but he's better than what's available. Cord says, I'm hoping I live far enough away from the cities. Not very hopeful for them. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's like if you live in a city, sometimes you have to be the voice of reason, the voice of change. And there are people that are looking for communities and stuff like that. I think like this idea of like running and hiding and staying in your bunker is good. But there are some of us that like to press in and help the helpless. You know what I mean? Some people just feel called to that. Hunter Biden, quite the Picasso I hear. Hey, some of Hunter Biden's art isn't too bad. I think we should rank Hunter Biden's art. I'm not too fringy to say if it's or too over the top to say some of his art isn't good. Let's see. Where is? I feel like I need to like look up his art. I'd still vote for him. Oust him in the next primary. Yeah, I would too. I would do the same thing. Hunter Biden art. There's got to be some art, right? Okay, here we go. I mean, I kind of like that. It's kind of splotchy. I kind of like that. I mean, it's not the worst. This is not something. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's also not the best. I'll say that. I was expecting when I first saw some of his paintings being like put out there that they were going to be absolute trash. China, I'm sure. Yeah. It could be that. It could be donors. It could be all kinds of things. It could be American, celebrities and stuff like that. It's like, I own a piece of Hunter. I'm a fan of the Hunter Biden collection. Like, I kind of like this painting on the left right here. Kind of like that. A little face there. And a little Japanese sign or something. I don't know. But, like, that doesn't look that bad. I was kind of hoping for, like, stick figures and something to make fun of. But when I first saw the paintings, I was like, oh, those aren't too bad. Okay. Let's end with this video. Again, if you want to call in my show and leave a voice message, this is the number, 872-240-2407. 872. As long as you don't say something that would get me kicked off YouTube, I will play it. It's kind of what we're going to do. Art school paintings, how dare you? How dare you? But I saw this video being passed around, and I thought this was too funny not to share, not to talk about, especially for men. This is so great. I hope you guys have never seen this.
If I put the seat up to urinate and then put it down after I'm done, at your request, that is 2 seat repetitions per urinary event. This arrangement means that if you go into the bathroom, you can just sit down and urinate and leave with 0 seat repetitions per urinary event. Would it not then be a fair and equitable marriage arrangement, creating a scenario where we are both responsible for only 1 seat repetition per urinary event? And she's gone.
It's like the best clip ever. Fairness isn't fair. Oh, you guys are the best. I hope I've been live for like an hour and a half. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. This is a Sunday show, kind of light and airy, and we hope we have fun. Tomorrow I'll be live again, 5 p.m. Eastern. Killer T-cells can't deny the logic. I know, 100%. You try to fight that logic, and it'll just get you right back, boy. It'll just come up on you real quick. But you can always call this number. I'm not going to answer, and leave me a message, or you can text me, or you can send me videos or whatever that I could play on the show, that if they're like appropriate to play, obviously. At 872-240-2407. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I will be live tomorrow for a longer show. Come hang out, come party, and all that stuff. Dang, missed it. See you tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what time to go live on Sundays. It's a weird day. It's a weird day. But call this number. We did some we had some funny ones. We had some good ones from Willie, and then Papa left some messages that were just so silly. Enjoyed the show. Thanks. Take care. I appreciate you guys. But tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, come hang out, come party, get in the chat, call or text me, leave me a message, whatever. I'll play it tomorrow. I'm just gonna have them rolling. You can play them whenever. We might just have a spot where Papa comes on and leaves long messages because those are so funny. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Sunday. Eat some good food. Watch some football if not, or watch a good movie or something. I'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. Bye, guys. You guys are the freaking best.